Hello and welcome back to Midwest Snowglobe Repair and Enchantment. So I've got another customer's snow globe in hand here that we are going to change the water in. It also looks like the figurine inside has come loose from the stopper just a little bit. I think it is a two-piece figurine because I see a split. I have to take a look at it later when I get it out, but I see a split right there. And I have worked on something like this similar, and that's what it was, because I thought the figurine had broken in half in the beginning. So it looks like it's got a lot of really cool details. This is a Christmas nativity snow globe. And I'm not really seeing any breaks, so it's pretty well taken care of. And it looks like when you wind the music box, this spins down at the bottom, so that's kind of a cool touch. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first things first, we're going to take the key for the music box out. And then after that, I am going to put a mark. That way I can line it back up easier. The reason I do that, and why I need it to line up easier is because many times I haven't done that and I've had a hard time getting the key back in where it's supposed to go, and sometimes the music box would move a lot slower, or I would just simply miss getting it in there altogether. Okay. I need a little bit of a bigger screwdriver here. As you can see, this is a pretty large snow globe. When customers reached out to me, we definitely needed a little work here. So my goal, and I'm sure I will, but my goal is to get all of these back to them before the holidays, obviously, so they can have their time to enjoy them. Nice and easy. Almost got it. Some of this glue is really old. There we go. Let's see. Let's take a little listen to this, and because I never did wind it up yet, so I want to make sure that the music box doesn't need any WD-40 before we get too far. Nope, she's in pretty good shape. So we'll go ahead and put that aside and get started. There's a lot of really old glue here, so I'm gonna have to heat it up with my hair dryer, and then we will this is kind of thick. Yeah, there we go. I'm just gonna go around, kind of cut my way through here. That way I can get the figurine out easier. Ooh. More here. Sometimes this old glue, when they put it on there so thick, it can be very difficult to take out. Alright, next thing I want to do, I'm going to put a mark here for the stopper. I'm just going to kind of put one right in there, that way you can't see it. There we go. Alright, let's get this out of here. This is, I can tell it's a fairly old snow globe. I'm not sure exactly what year, but you can just kind of tell as you're getting in there and trying to take it apart. Because the stoppers, over the years, they do kind of soften up and they get a lot more flexible. Compared to newer ones, if you mess with them, they're pretty tight fitting. But I have found some that are pretty darn old, and I still had a hard time getting the stopper out. Almost. Alright, I think we can just pull it out now. Okay, here we go. Okay, yep, I was correct. So it's a two-piece figurine. So two pieces that are just put together on one large stopper. So what I'll need to do, since it's coming off a little bit, I'm going to have to dry it off good and then put some good super glue down. So now I'm going to go ahead and start getting this water out. And this is such a large globe, I'm going to have to do a couple of rounds. So while I'm working on this, I will put you on a pause. So now I've got everything cleaned up. I've got the figurine, it's all reattached as it should be. And then the glass, it is all cleaned up and ready. The only thing I could not fix was I could not preserve the original snow. So I'm gonna kind of look around here in my stash. I think I have a little bit of extra snow on hand. And then once yep, I do. I got this right here. I'm gonna just take this out. I think it's yep, it's in another bag. I'm gonna put this thing inside some water and I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit. That way it's got a little time to absorb everything. I think I'm gonna put maybe just about half of it in there. Yeah, that should probably be enough. And then there was also glitter inside of this globe, so I'm going to put a little bit of glitter in there also. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to set this here. So I've got that in there, and I'm just going to put it in some water for a little while. And then I'm going to mix it up a little that way. Because sometimes this snow, I mean, it's great snow, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it will float for a while before it actually wants to sink. So what I want to do is try to get this to where it'll start sinking rather than floating. Okay. I most likely won't be able to get it all to sink down right away, but over time, as it's inside the snow globe, it will. Alright, the glass is in good shape. And as far as glitter goes, I think I'll use some of this right here. I don't think it has a lot, but I might also use an iridescent white along with it, just to give it a bit more character. I think I got some in here, actually. I do, right here. This one, it does okay, but I kind of wished it sparkled a little bit more in water, because sometimes it seems like it's just white and doesn't really shine. It's such a big snow globe too. Oh, I need to get the glycerin. I almost forgot. Past couple snow globes I fixed, I didn't put any in there because some of them had impellers, and there's really no point in putting any in there if they've got an impeller. And mix it up good. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put some of the glitter in first so I can kind of get my ratio of that. So start with that. And then I'm gonna put just a little bit of this in, but I don't think I'm gonna need a lot. Let's see if I can get it open again. I haven't used it for a while. Okay, that should be enough. I might have actually done just a little too much, but take a look. From what I can see, it might be alright. Now I'm ready to get the snow back inside. And I got some of it to sink, not all of it, but like I said, over time it will. There we go. I've got some of it floating up again. I'm gonna try to give it some more of a spin and try to kind of motivate it to go and sink down. From what I can see, it looks like it's pretty good ratio. Alright, now I'm ready to get the figurine back inside. I've got it all glued back together. I can see my line a little further here. And I can tell it's going to be a little bit of a tight squeeze. You know, and plus sometimes that will happen when you put some glue onto a figurine, because naturally the glue is gonna stop some of the flex that it was given. Put a little bit too much water in, but that is a-okay. Come on now. We're getting there. There we go. A little bit. Get a little stuck there. Okay, there we go. Got it back in. Let's see how it looks. Perfect. Looking real good. It's got a small air bubble, but not bad. Not bad at all. Just gonna kind of give that some shaking. Kind of force more of those bubbles to come on out. And then you can see some of that snow. It is still floating up, but over time it will fall. Okay. I'm gonna dry off some more of this. Okay, now I'm gonna try and get as much of that air bubble out as I possibly can. Sometimes with these larger ones, it's a little tough to get to. Let's see. Try to... Let's see. Let's try it this way, starting off. Some of it came out, but that's okay. It was just a little bit. Okay. And so you can still see it looks like air bubbles, but oh no, we do have some more air bubbles coming out. That's okay. I'll just try again. Oh, I see what's going on here. This little space here is allowing air to get in there. Yep, that's what's going on right now. In fact, it's an active leak. So what I'm gonna have to do, I don't usually like to do it this way, but it's about the only way I know how to prevent this problem to continue. I need to dry it up real good. I've got my hot glue gun on already, so it's warmed up. I'm gonna fill it all in again, and then I'm gonna keep it upside up like this, and then I'll go in with my hot glue gun and put a seal around there. That way it can't let any more air inside. Okay, go. Dry some of this off here. Try to get as much water out of there as I can. Get a new glue stick ready in case I need it. Probably will. just a minute, let that cool. Because I'm sure there's probably going to be some places where other bubbles have popped up, and I just do not want another leak to appear. I can already see a little bit right here coming out. Otherwise, hopefully that will put an end to that. Put a little bit along down in here also. You know, I mean, I know I'm pretty heavy on the glue, but I really just want to make sure that this is not going to leak when the customer takes it home. Okay, give that just a couple more seconds and then we will see how it went. You know, and sometimes you really just cannot get rid of the air bubble permanently. You know, there's a few that I have repaired. I've done it over and over and over, and somehow they still just come back. Okay, that's just about cooled enough. Let's see how we are looking. Yep, like I said, there's a couple still, but it's not as bad as it was. So it's just one of those things, it's just not gonna stop coming back. It looks like there's still a leak somewhere. So I gotta figure out where. So while I work on that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put you guys on a brief pause. So due to some time management, I went ahead and just finished up the process. I could not get rid of the entire air bubble. You know, and like I said, sometimes you just cannot. They can just be incredibly stubborn like that. But I've got everything all put back together. You can see the figurine is all good and even. Water's nice, clean. So I'll give this a little shake, and then also I'll go ahead and wind the music box for you. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good balance for the snow and the glitter. I'm pretty sure the customer will be good and happy with this result. Thank you guys for watching. Can't wait to see you next time.